Chosen one. Wow, you've had this power since your very first breath. You were born carrying something most people spend lifetimes trying to awaken, and now that your dark night has lifted, your comeback is here. The storm didn't destroy you, it refined you, and those who laughed while you were in your shadow season are about to choke on their own disbelief, because the version of you rising now is untouchable. The divine current that's been with you since birth is roaring back, and this time nothing, and no one can dim what's finally awakening. Someone can't stop looking for you online. Devices you don't know about are being used. Maybe technology to hide digital footprints. Maybe a second phone kept hidden. Your profiles are being scrolled through late at night when the person next to them is asleep. Your name is being searched. Your pictures studied. Your posts analyzed. All to piece together if you're happy, if you're thriving, if you've moved on. You are their secret obsession. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind later in this story. The person lying next to them knows. The third party feels it. There's a sense of where their partner's mind goes when the lights go out. That's why there's so much fighting in that house, so much tension, so much explosive energy. It's not about what's being claimed, it's about the ghost of you haunting every corner of their relationship. And that ghost is about to become very, very real. Something that connects directly to why financial collapse is happening right now. Remember this detail because it's going to matter. That third party tried something. A little gift was made for you once. Intentions were wrapped in it. Plans existed for what it would do to your energy, your success, your glow. Keep that in your mind. We're coming back to that. Because what was tried on you is now happening to them. Multiplied. People were gathered around and laughter was shared about what was done to you. Jokes were made. Little inside references about your pain were created. Your vulnerability was turned into their entertainment. One of them would start, and the other would join in, building on the ridicule like comedy routines were being written. Bonding was what they thought was happening. Cleverness was what they thought they had. What was actually happening was a spiritual contract being signed that neither of them knew existed. Here's what you need to understand about mockery. It's not just mean. It's not just hurtful. It's a specific violation of spiritual law. When someone ridicules your journey, especially a chosen one's journey, the attack isn't just on you. It's challenging the force that's shaping you. It's interrupting a divine process. And the universe takes that personally. Every laugh that was shared is now becoming a tear cried alone. Every joke that was made is now manifesting as a problem that can't be solved. The person who laughed the loudest is suffering the most right now. Watch that. Pay attention to who was most enthusiastic about mocking you. Their world is crumbling in spectacular fashion, and dots are starting to get connected. Late at night, in those quiet moments that can't be filled with distraction, memories surface. Your face, the way you looked when the hurt happened, the dignity you walked away with. And something in them knows. Something recognizes that current suffering started the day fun was made of your pain. There was a specific moment when the mockery crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Maybe the way you cried was imitated. Maybe something deeply personal you shared in confidence became joke material. Maybe your healing journey was mocked, your growth efforts ridiculed. Whatever it was, there was a moment when the laughter stopped being thoughtless and became malicious. That moment, that's when spiritual law activated in a way that's irreversible without genuine repentance. You need to understand what happens in the unseen realm when people laugh at chosen ones. There are beings, forces, energies assigned to your protection. Every interaction gets watched. Every violation gets recorded. When your ex and the third party sat together and turned your pain into comedy, those forces took note. When laughter erupted at your tears, mockery was added to their spiritual ledger. When inside jokes were made about your struggles, cruelty wasn't just being directed at you. War was being declared on your protection. And here's what people don't understand about protection. It doesn't just shield you, it responds. Every attack meant for you that your protection deflected didn't just disappear into the ether. It got returned, amplified, transformed into a lesson for the sender. Hurt was what they thought they were inflicting on you. Their own destruction was what they were actually setting up. Every laugh was a seed, every joke was a planted consequence, and now the harvest is coming in. The mockery had specific targets. Your emotions were made fun of, with accusations of being too sensitive. Now emotional chaos that can't be controlled is being experienced. Your intuition was ridiculed, with labels of paranoia attached. Now situations exist where instincts can't be trusted. Your boundaries were laughed at, with complaints of you being difficult. Now a relationship with no boundaries exists, and drowning in toxicity is happening. Point by point, joke by joke, every area that was mocked is now the area where suffering occurs. There's a spiritual principle at work here that's ancient. What you mock, you become vulnerable to. What you ridicule, you open yourself up to experience. Your ex made fun of your struggles with certain things, and now those exact struggles are daily reality. The third party laughed at aspects of your personality, and now those same traits are being displayed in exaggerated, distorted ways. The universe doesn't just punish mockery, it educates through it. Something seems funny. Let's see how funny it is when you live it. Remember how laughter happened about that thing you were going through, that struggle you were facing, that challenge you were trying to overcome. It was turned into entertainment for each other. Something heavy for you was made light. Now that same weight is being carried. But here's the difference. When you were going through it, you had grace, you had divine support, you had spiritual backing that helped you endure. The same storm is being faced now, but with no shelter, and it's breaking them in ways that are visible to everyone watching. The inside jokes created at your expense have become prophecies of their own demise. Every punchline crafted about your life is now a headline in theirs. Every time you were made the butt of a joke, their own story of humiliation was actually being written. That's how spiritual laws work. Self-enforcement is built in. Judges or juries aren't needed. You seeking revenge isn't required. What was put out simply gets reflected back. And what your ex and the third party put out was mockery. So mockery is what's being received. From life. From each other. From people who once offered respect. If this message awakens something within you, hype this video for other chosen ones who need to hear this. This energy that was always competing with you, even when you didn't know there was a competition. A specific personality type exists here. The kind who acts overly familiar, who touches when boundaries say not to, who makes comments that cross lines but you're supposed to take as jokes, who offers help that comes with invisible strings attached. Something felt off about this person from the beginning. Your intuition was screaming, but your ex defended them every time. Paranoia was what you were called. Reading into things was the accusation. Craziness was what you were made to feel for noticing what was obvious. That gaslighting, that was intentional, because your ex knew, on some level knowledge existed of exactly what this third party wanted, and the attention was enjoyed. Being fought over was liked. Having options was preferred. This third party was present during moments that should have been private between you and your ex. Phone calls happened when they shouldn't have. Gatherings occurred where boundaries were blurred. Conversations about your relationship were inserted into under the guise of being helpful or supportive. But really, the blueprint was being studied. Your patterns were being learned. Your strengths were being identified so mimicry could be attempted, and your vulnerabilities were being noted so exploitation could happen later. The mockery between your ex and this third party started small. Little comments, subtle digs, testing what could be gotten away with. When you confronted something, it got flipped. You became the problem. You couldn't take a joke was the claim. Too sensitive was the label. Laughter was shared together at your reaction, which was exactly the goal. Alliance through shared cruelty was being created. That's textbook spiritual manipulation, creating bonds by making someone else the outsider. That third party is miserable now. The envy that was felt toward you has turned inward. Looking in the mirror shows everything that was tried to be stolen from you but couldn't be taken. Your youth, your glow, your natural radiance. Breaking out is happening. Skin is showing the toxicity of spirit. Hair is thinning. Eyes have lost their light. You know why? Because beauty that comes from a pure source is permanent. Beauty that comes from stealing someone else's place is temporary, and temporary always expires. The jokes that were made about your appearance, those are coming back to haunt literally. Every criticism leveled at you is now manifesting in their own reflection. Every flaw pointed out in you, real or imagined, is now appearing on their own face. This isn't coincidence. This is spiritual law. When someone mocks another person's physical form, especially out of jealousy, that same judgment gets invited onto themselves. The universe mirrors back what gets projected, and what this third party projected onto you is now daily reality. There's something else happening that's being tried to hide. The relationship with your ex isn't what gets posted online. Behind closed doors, constant tension about you exists. Your name can't be mentioned without a fight starting. The past can't be casually referenced without accusations flying. The third party knows competition exists with your memory, and the battle is being lost badly. Every moment, every breath, your ghost is more present in that relationship than anything else. Being the one chosen was thought to bring peace. Winning your ex away from you was thought to provide validation somehow. Proof of being better, more desirable, more worthy was expected. But all it proved was that broken people attract broken situations. Happiness doesn't exist there. Anxiety does. Constantly looking over shoulders happens. Constantly wondering if your ex is thinking about you occurs. Constantly trying to be enough and falling short continues because filling a space that was never meant for them is impossible. Money is leaving their life in ways that don't make logical sense. Unexpected bills arrive. Deals that were guaranteed fall through at the last minute. Income streams dry up. Savings disappear into emergencies that keep multiplying. And fighting about it happens constantly. Blaming each other occurs. Accusations fly. Scorekeeping dominates. The energy in their home around finances is pure poison. You want to know why? Because there's a spiritual principle about resources. When someone uses another person, when energy gets drained, when benefit comes from stability and then discarding happens, a debt gets created. That debt doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care that moving on occurred. It follows into the next situation and extracts payment with interest. Your ex is discovering that everything built using your foundation is unstable. Every plan made with assumptions that people could keep being treated as disposable is falling apart. The bank account that seemed secure is now a source of stress. The career that was ascending is now stagnant. Opportunities that used to flow are now blocked. And deep down, in moments that won't be admitted to anyone, knowledge exists that it started when departure from you happened. Blessings stopped when honoring what was sacred stopped. Right now, lack is being experienced in ways that create humiliation. Asking for money from people who were looked down on is happening. Help from family members who were treated with superiority must be accepted. Invitations get declined because affording what used to be easy is no longer possible. Every moment of financial embarrassment being experienced now connects directly to a moment when you were made to feel financially embarrassed before. The universe keeps perfect books. Every withdrawal made from your dignity is now being withdrawn from theirs. The third party is showing true colors around money. The mask of being supportive and understanding is cracking under financial pressure. Comments are being made about your ex not providing enough. Comparisons to other people who have more are being drawn. An atmosphere where love is conditional on financial performance is being created, and your ex is feeling the weight of that. Memories surface of how you never made them feel less than because of money. How support was given through lean seasons. How building together happened instead of demands to arrive already built. But it's too late for that realization to matter. A choice was made. Someone who loved potential for provision was chosen over someone who loved the actual person. Now discovery is happening of what that really means. Every expense becomes a test. Every financial decision becomes a potential argument. Every setback becomes evidence of failure. The peace that existed with you around money is now a war zone with the third party. Remember when you were told to remember that gift? That little offering from the third party that had intentions wrapped inside it. Here's what really happened. Something was tried on you spiritually. Your success was meant to be blocked. Your light was meant to be dimmed. Struggles were meant to happen in ways that seemed random but were actually targeted. Cleverness was what was thought existed. Knowledge of how to manipulate energy was assumed. But chosen ones have protection that doesn't get advertised. You didn't even know you were protected until noticing that attacks weren't landing. Everything sent your way bounced back. Every negative intention returned to sender. And now, everything tried on you is happening to them. Blocked success? That's their reality now. Dimmed light? Look at them. Random struggles? Breaks can't be caught. Let me be specific about what was attempted. Something was given to you, or attempted to be given. Maybe acceptance happened to be polite. Maybe rejection occurred because something in you knew not to receive it. Either way, an offering existed that had spiritual manipulation attached to it. This wasn't just a gift. This was a tool meant to create access to your energy field. Seeds of confusion, doubt, insecurity were meant to be planted. Making you question yourself was the goal. The very glow they were jealous of was meant to be dimmed. Your spiritual protection recognized the attack before your conscious mind did. If the gift was accepted, neutralization happened the moment it entered your space. If rejection occurred, divine guidance was followed without knowing why. Either way, the intention behind it didn't land. Penetration couldn't happen. And when spiritual attacks fail to reach their target, dissipation doesn't just happen. Return to the sender occurs with the original intention intact. So everything the third party tried to do to you is now manifesting in their own life. Your success was meant to be blocked. Opportunities are evaporating for them. Your glow was meant to be dimmed. Their own radiance is fading fast. Struggles with relationships were meant to be created for you. Peace can't be maintained in their own situation now. Confusion was meant for your path. So much confusion exists now that which way is up can't be determined. The exact energy sent toward you is now the atmosphere being lived in. Searching for you can't be stopped. Profile creeping has become an obsession, being hidden from everyone. Your name gets typed into search bars late at night. Scrolling through your pictures happens while trying to read your energy through pixels. Looking at who's liking your posts occurs, who's commenting gets analyzed. Attempts to figure out if someone new is in your life continue. This isn't love. This is torture being inflicted on themselves. The person next to them feels this distance. Sensing happens that their partner is somewhere else mentally. So phone checking occurs. Browser history gets examined. Deleted searches that were supposed to stay hidden get found. And that's when the real fights start. Accusations fly. Defensiveness erupts. Lies that don't quite land get told. The relationship that was supposedly better than what existed with you is now a battlefield. Your ex is realizing duplication of what you gave is impossible. Trying is happening. Forcing it is occurring. Pretending the new situation is everything wanted continues, but every passing moment makes it more obvious. Substance was traded for appearance. Excitement was chosen over stability. Someone who wanted to compete with you was picked over someone who actually offered love, and living in the consequences of that choice is happening now. Let me tell you what gets seen when looking at your profiles. Growth, evolution, transformation. You're not the same person who was left. Your energy is completely different. The captions you write show depth that isn't remembered. The pictures you post show confidence that was never witnessed. The life you're building has a foundation that was never known you possessed. And it's devastating because realization is happening that the real you was never known. A version of you that was dimmed down to accommodate limitations was all that was ever known. The stalking has a pattern. Your profiles get checked during specific times, early morning when waking happens, and the third party is still asleep. Late night when everyone else is sleeping and being alone with thoughts occurs. During arguments when remembering why fighting to stay in a situation that doesn't fulfill is needed. Every check is a prayer that you're struggling. Every search is hope that suffering without them is happening. And every time looking occurs, the opposite gets seen. You're thriving, and it's destroying them. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity, and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is, you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. The version of you being stalked isn't even available anymore. Upgrading has happened so completely that even if another chance somehow materialized, recognizing how to relate to you wouldn't be possible. The conversations imagined having with you wouldn't work because the same language isn't being spoken anymore. Evolution past the frequency being operated on has occurred, so essentially, a ghost is being stalked, a memory is being chased. Obsessing over someone who doesn't exist in the form remembered is happening. And every moment spent focused on your life is a moment not spent building theirs. Every minute spent scrolling your profiles is a minute not invested in the current relationship. Every hour spent wondering about you is an hour of presence stolen from reality. This is how spiritual laws enforce themselves. Direct punishment doesn't happen. People get allowed to punish themselves through their own choices. And your ex chose obsession over peace, chose stalking over moving forward, chose fantasy over reality. The searches have become more specific over time. Looking at your main profile isn't all that's happening anymore. Old accounts are being found. Looking through mutual connections occurs. Checking people who interact with you frequently is happening. This level of investigation reveals desperation. It shows someone trying to maintain control over a situation where access no longer exists. It's the behavior of someone refusing to accept that doors closed by them are now locked from the other side. Making your profiles private or changing settings in a way that cuts off their access completely is about to happen. Maybe it already has. Maybe it's coming soon. Either way, the ability to keep tabs on you is about to be severed. And when that happens, when seeing what you're doing becomes impossible, when even the illusion of connection gets lost, something is going to break in them. The last thread of control will snap, and that's when the real consequences of choices will hit fully. Trying to come back is going to happen. Not because transformation occurred, because being broke is the reality. Financially broke, emotionally broke, spiritually broke. Life is grinding down, and memories exist of you being peace. Math is being done right now. Calculations about if a way back to you exists. Stories are being crafted in the mind about how things would be explained. Apologies that might work are being practiced. You never made them fight for basic respect. Chaos for attention was never created by you. Affection was never weaponized. Being with you was easy in ways that were taken for granted. Now everything is hard. Everything requires effort. Everything feels forced. And exhaustion exists. So thinking about reaching out is happening. Testing the waters is being considered. Seeing if maybe openness to talking might exist is being contemplated. Don't do it. Here's why. People don't come back because change happened. Coming back occurs because other options expired. Seeking you doesn't happen because value is recognized. Seeking happens because trouble exists and memories remain of you being stability. You're not a backup plan. You're not a safety net for someone drowning in consequences they created. You're the main event. And if seeing that when having you wasn't possible, access to the upgraded version of you that exists now isn't deserved. The third party is particularly bothered by your glow-up, because exposure is happening. Every improvement in your appearance since leaving makes their jealousy look justified in retrospect. People are starting to understand why being threatened by you occurred, why working so hard to get you out of the picture was necessary for them, why just letting your relationship end naturally couldn't happen. Your current state is proof that knowledge existed of you being exceptional. Knowledge existed that you were going places. Knowledge existed that you had something they could never have, so trying to dim you before outshining them completely was attempted. But all that happened was delay of your shine, and delayed shine comes back brighter. Your ex sees your glow up and feels regret so deep it's changing personality. Quieter now, more withdrawn, less confident. Talking about the future with certainty used to happen. Now tomorrow barely gets mentioned. Plans used to be made boldly. Now tentative about everything is the reality. Your transformation broke something in them. Not in a way that makes you feel powerful, in a way that makes you grateful you escaped. Because imagine being so threatened by someone else's success that it destroys peace. Imagine being so insecure that another person's glow dims your light. That's the prison being lived in, and freedom from it is yours. Every person met gets measured against you. Every conversation reminds them of something you said. Every moment of silence makes them think of how you used to fill space with your presence. Being stuck in a loop that can't be escaped is happening. Comparing current situation to what existed with you and coming up short every single time is their reality. The third party knows this, feeling it is happening. That's why the envy has turned into something darker. That's why the competition has become vicious. Knowledge exists of losing a battle against your memory. Knowledge exists of having gotten the person's body but not their mind, and definitely not their heart. So what insecure people do is what gets done. Trying to control everything happens. Constant phone checking occurs. Fights get started to test loyalty. More and more proof of commitment gets demanded. And your ex, suffocating under that pressure, is happening. This is poetic justice at its finest. The relationship built on betraying you is now eating itself alive. The trust destroyed with you doesn't exist in their new situation either. The loyalty violated is now something desperately wanted but can't be found. Everything done to you is now being done to them. The universe doesn't punish. Teaching happens. Through experience. A moment is coming soon that's going to shift everything. A revelation. An exposure. A situation where everything being hidden comes to light. The financial problems being covered up. The lies being maintained. The double life being lived. All of it is about to surface in a way that can't be controlled or contained. This isn't revenge on your part. Nothing is being done by you to make this happen. This is spiritual law in motion. What's done in darkness comes to light. What's sown gets reaped. What's sent out returns. Principles that govern reality itself got violated. Sacred laws about how to treat people got broken. Laughter at pain caused to someone under divine protection happened. And now the bill is being presented. When this moment comes, and it's coming soon, you're going to feel something shift. A weight will lift that you didn't even realize you were carrying. Confirmation about things you suspected but couldn't prove will be received. Seeing with your own eyes that your intuition was accurate about everything will happen, and understanding will come of why walking away was necessary, why the relationship had to end, why the pain was required. Because positioning for this moment was happening, this vindication, this proof that trusting yourself was right. An entire identity has been built around being the victim in your situation. Everyone who would listen has been told that you were the problem, that you were controlling, jealous, insecure, difficult, painting themselves as someone who finally escaped a bad situation and found happiness occurred. That narrative is about to crumble, because the truth doesn't just expose what was done, it exposes who they are. When people lie about why a relationship ended, when history gets rewritten to make themselves look better, a debt with truth itself gets created. Truth is a spiritual force that demands acknowledgement. Delaying it is possible, avoiding it can happen, elaborate stories to hide from it can get constructed. But eventually, truth enforces itself, and the longer the running from it, the harder it hits when catching up happens. Your ex has been running for a while now. The catching up is about to be brutal. The third party is going to be the catalyst for much of this exposure. Jealousy and insecurity are going to drive digging into things that have been ignored. Looking through things that were told didn't need to be seen is going to happen. Questions that have been feared are going to get asked. And what gets found is going to destroy the foundation of their relationship. But here's the twist. Leaving isn't going to happen. Staying and making your ex's life miserable as punishment is what will occur. That's a special kind of karma, being trapped with someone who knows the truth about you and uses it as a weapon daily. People in their life already know some of this. Friends who've been watching the dysfunction exist. Family members who've been biting their tongues are present. Colleagues who've noticed inconsistencies are there. These people have been waiting for the right moment to speak up. That moment is coming. One person is going to break rank and say what everyone's been thinking, and once that first domino falls, the rest will follow. Your ex is about to experience what it feels like to have reputation dismantled in front of an audience, just like what was tried to be done to you. The spiritual debt extends beyond this realm too. Consequences being experienced have no physical explanation. Dreams that disturb exist. Synchronicities that feel like warnings happen. A sense of being watched or followed by something that can't be seen occurs. Chosen ones have protection from realms that might not even be believed in. And that protection has intelligence. Knowledge exists of who attacked you. Knowledge exists of who mocked you. Knowledge exists of who violated spiritual laws, and collecting on that debt through channels that aren't understood and can't be fought is happening. Something valued highly is about to be lost. Could be a relationship with a family member who finally sees through them. Could be a friendship counted on that dissolves when truth comes out. Could be reputation in a community cared about. Could be sense of self when maintaining the delusion built becomes impossible. Whatever it is, the loss is going to hurt in ways that money can't fix and time won't heal, because it's a spiritual loss, and spiritual losses leave marks that never fully fade. The laughter shared at your expense is about to be remembered differently. Every person who heard jokes about you is going to think about those moments when truth comes out, and realization is going to happen that cruelty was being watched, not comedy. Your ex's face when mocking you is going to be remembered. The third party's enthusiasm when joining in is going to be recalled, and feeling complicit is going to result. Some will apologize to you, some will just distance themselves, but none of them will look at your ex or the third party the same way again. This exposure is necessary not just for your vindication, but for their evolution. Facing what was done needs to happen. Feeling the consequences of choices is required. Understanding that spiritual laws aren't abstract concepts but real forces that govern outcomes must occur. This pain about to be experienced isn't meant to destroy permanently. It's meant to wake up, to show that the way of moving through the world has real costs. To teach that chosen ones are protected for a reason, and mocking that protection activates forces that can't be manipulated or charmed around. Right now, in this present moment, standing at the threshold of something magnificent is where you are. News that's coming is going to confirm what you already know. Opportunities that are manifesting are going to exceed what was imagined. People entering your life are going to reflect the frequency being operated on now. And the ones who hurt you, watching all of it happen from a distance they created is what they'll be doing. Breaking spiritual laws was thought to be funny. Your pain was thought to be entertainment. Violating sacred principles without consequences was thought possible. But you don't operate under regular rules. The protection around you isn't passive. The laws governing your journey aren't negotiable. And the justice unfolding isn't about revenge. It's about balance. It's about truth. It's about the universe maintaining order. You felt that falling sensation because something had to die for something new to be born. The old version of you who accepted less than deserved had to go. The naive version who thought love meant tolerating disrespect needed to end. The smaller version who dimmed their light to make others comfortable required transformation. That version fell away, and what emerged is who you are right now. Powerful, discerning, protected, ascending. Consequences are being experienced by them. Elevation is being experienced by you. Karma is being dealt with by them. Blessings are being received by you. Hard lessons about spiritual laws are being learned by them. Living proof that those laws protect the righteous and correct the wicked is what you are. This isn't coincidence. This is divine order. This is how the universe maintains justice when human systems fail. Breaking spiritual laws was never going to be funny for long. The laughter died the moment consequences started. Now there's just the weight, the pressure, the sense that something unstoppable is coming for them, and correctness exists in that sense. It is coming. It's called reaping what you sow. It's called spiritual debt collection. It's called karmic balance, and it's absolutely, completely, totally not a joke. It's the most serious thing in the universe, and witnessing it with your own eyes is about to happen. Not from a place of bitterness, but from a place of power, because that's what chosen ones do. Revenge doesn't get gotten, elevation gets received, and your elevation is the greatest testimony to the spiritual laws that govern this reality. Absolute they are, unbreakable they remain, and enforcement of themselves always